Hey, what's up, guys? Koolaid here. Welcome to another episode of Killing Time with Koolaid. And today we got a lot to talk about. Then we'll do the mailbag, of course, at the end. But first of all, I keep talking about doing these advanced infiltration tip videos, and I just don't get around to doing them. I've been getting a lot more requests lately, and a lot of feedback that has made me want to start branching out and playing a lot more other classes more frequently. So that's kind of taken a precedent right now over the advanced infiltration tips. Now I will get to those. This is a infiltrator first channel, but I do play other classes. I play everything. In fact, infiltrator isn't my most played class. Actually, engineer is my most played class. And I have, other than medic, I have at least 50 hours logged in every class. Medic, I think I'm around 30 or something like that. But I want to get out. I want to do more stuff on other classes, less infiltrator. It seemed like I was doing a lot of infiltrator stuff when I came back because I was having so much fun playing that class. But it seemed like it was getting kind of stale on you guys. So for the time being, I'm going to branch out for at least a couple weeks and just kind of avoid infiltrator a little bit and just kind of go with some other class. So a couple other things I'm working on. I am working on a montage for you guys. I haven't done one in a while. I was doing one for every 1,000 subscribers I was getting. That kind of tailed off. But the next montage I'm going to do is going to have 0 infiltrator play in it. The reason for that is basically just like I said, it's been getting stale. I've been getting a lot of comments saying SMG Infiltrator is overpowered, SMG Infiltrator is easy mode, SMG Infiltrator takes no skill. Well, I can tell you, the last week I've been playing a lot of heavy light assault and medic. Medic, obviously, I've done a couple of videos on already, but I quit playing medic the other day, switched to heavy assault. I spent about 2 days playing heavy assault, and for anybody that mains heavy assault and wants to tell me that SMG Infiltrator is easy, I completely disagree. I finally, for the first time, have played a maxed out heavy assault. I spent like 1,500 certs buying last rank of Nanoweave, last rank of Resist Shield, and that class is ridiculous. You should never lose a 1v1 fight. Even if a guy is shooting in you in the back to start off with, you have no clue he's there, you can easily turn on other classes of heavy assault. I'm going to start doing some more videos on heavy. Spent about 2 hours today playing nothing but light assault and got some really fun gameplay. So I might do an uncut gameplay of that. But as far as SMG infiltrators being overpowered, this is kind of how I look at classes, not counting maxes in Planetside. I think you have your utility classes, which are medic and engineer. And to me, those are bar none the best 2 classes in the entire game. Break down a medic. You have access to some of the best guns in the game, which is the assault rifle. You have a self-heal. You have access to C4, so you can not only destroy vehicles, but you can heal yourself at the same time. It's the only class in the game that can do that. And then you have access to what is probably, undoubtedly, the most overpowered, and I hate using the term overpowered, but the best ability in the game, which is the revive. You can revive people. How awesome is that? Take an engineer. Now, an engineer has, again, very good weapons with the carbines. You have access to a long-range anti-vehicle weapon, which is considered really good. You have access to what some people consider the best short-range, devastating, close-range anti-vehicle with anti-vehicle mines. And you also have the ability to repair anything in the game, which is incredibly useful, especially considering how many vehicles. Obviously, most people that play vehicles should be using an engineer. Blah blah blah. They're 2 of the most useful classes in the game. I don't see how anybody can argue that. Whatever. Now, are they the best 1v1 infantry killers? No, and that's how I kind of categorize the other 3 classes as better, infantry killers. You look at the heavy assault, and I kind of put him in a category by his own. I actually think heavy assault is the best infantry killing class in the game. You can just stand there and beat people down. To be honest with you, out of all the classes in the game, heavy assault to me takes the least amount of finesse, and I don't want to say the least skill, but basically that's what I'm trying to say. It takes the least skill to play. You just pop your shield, and you should be able to win most 1v1 fights. I look at Infiltrator and Light Assault as more finesse classes. You don't have that shield. You're still really good at killing other infantry, though. You just have to use a little more finesse to do it. Some people are just automatically going to say SMG infiltrators are easy because you can use your cloak to sneak up behind people and shoot them in the back. Yes, a lot of your kills will come by shooting people in the back. That's how you play infiltrator. But when you do come up against the guy that can see through cloak, and many players have absolutely no problem seeing a cloaked infiltrator. I, for one, always see cloaked infiltrators. I obviously play on higher settings where it's going to make a difference, and people that play on higher PCs are, better PCs are going to have that advantage. But in many circumstances, that does happen, and that basically renders your one advantage completely useless. At that point, you are at a disadvantage, mainly because you have less health, and you're going to have, for the most part, probably inferior weapons. An SMG is great. It's probably just as competitive within 10 meters as any other weapon in the game. Outside that, every other class is going to have a better weapon than you. So and I'm not saying this because I play a lot of Infiltrator, but I really do not think SMG infiltrators are overpowered. I actually do think in certain circumstances they are going to take a little more finesse. I don't want to say skill, but more finesse to play than some of the other classes. So anyways, end of rant number 1. This whole killing time is basically going to be me ranting about a couple things that bother me. The whole overpowered thing, that is one thing that bothers me a lot. The next thing is people telling me what is the best loadout. What is the best? That there's only one certain loadout. And this kind of came from my medic loadout video. And let me tell you guys, when I make loadout videos, it is not necessarily me saying that's the best loadout or the loadout that you should use. It's a loadout that I like playing with, enjoy playing with. Sometimes it might even be something crazy. I don't know, it might be for one specific purpose. And my medic loadout was to fit my playstyle to a T. I said that many times in the video. So having said that, one thing that bothers me, and I have no problem with people telling me that, the big one was probably Nanoweave. That Nanoweave is better than Advanced Shield Capacitor. Okay, I never once said that Advanced Shield Capacitor was better than Nanoweave. However, I do have a problem, and this is not just about this certain loadout. This applies to everything. I do have a problem with people telling me that one thing is the best, bar none. You cannot do anything else, or you will be inferior to other people with a different loadout but playing the same class. And that one certain weapon fits all playstyles, one certain loadout fits all playstyles. That's just rubbish. Okay? Maybe statistically, in certain situations, there are guns that are going to be better than other guns. That does not mean that that gun is going to be better for another player. And Rel did a really good video about this, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But I absolutely hate that. I love hearing different opinions. I am not an expert on everything. You guys oftentimes will help me check out other things that are probably better than what I suggest from time to time. But there is no best necessarily for everything. There just isn't. The game is too big. There's too many different play styles. There's too much going on. There's never typically a best for everything. So anyways, end of rant number 2. Another thing that came up, and this is part of the reason I did the combat medic loadout, is because I knew this would come up, is people telling you that you have to play a class a certain way. If you want to play combat medic and never heal a damn person, that's up to you. Now, obviously, you're not going to be the most effective teammate out there. You're not going to gain a lot of love from other teammates, but that is completely up to you. Now, a lot of medics choose medic because they like the ability to heal themselves. Or another example would be, say you just want to kill people. You have no desire to do anything else. You don't want to revive people. You just don't care about that. You just want to kill people. Well, then people will tell you to play heavy assault. Well, maybe you just happen to like assault rifles more than you like LMGs. Why do you not have the right to play combat medic, to use that assault rifle, and then not have to be forced to heal other people? And like I said, if you are playing combat medic, you should pick people up from time to time, even if it's not your MO, even if it's not what you want to do. You should do it from time to time. You're going to be a lot more useful to your team. But there's nothing in any rule book on Planetside that says you have to play that class a certain way. There's nothing that says if you're an engineer that you have to repair maxes or that you have to drop ammo. Should you? Probably, but there's nothing that says you have to do it. I kind of do this when it talks to I kind of like talking about infiltrators when it comes to this same scenario. I am very against long-range sniping. I have been in every game. I think for the most part, it's pretty useless. If you're sitting 300 meters away from the fight and trying to pick people off, first of all, you're going to be missing a lot of shots. Your kills per minute, or however you want to word that, is not going to be very good. You're not going to be very useful. But if that's what you want to do, if you want to be a sniper, if you want to act like an actual sniper, who am I to tell you not to do that? And the same goes for every class. If you just want to sit and do what you want to do, nobody has the right to tell you. They don't pay for your weapons. I would say they don't pay for your game, but obviously it's free. They don't pay for your weapons. They don't pay for your time that you're playing. It's your right to play however you want. And that is the end of rant number 3, and that's pretty much all I have for today, guys. So I know that was just a whole lot of me kind of complaining, and I am not a complainer, trust me. You guys probably have never really heard me complain about anything before. Just had a few things I wanted to get off my chest. Some of you might not agree with it. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Feel free to let me know what you think about everything I've said so far. If you completely disagree, that's fine. We'll talk about it, and we'll have a fun time doing it, probably. So anyways, let's get to the mailbag. And first question is from Xander. Wants to know, what are your thoughts on adding more equipment to give new roles to existing classes? For example, a heavy assault giving up his suit shield for a riot shield, or a light assault giving up the utility slot for a teleporter for their team. Do you think adding more roles is a good idea? And if so, do you have any ideas like the ones I gave that would be interesting roles for existing classes? I think new roles would be great. Adding more items, more diversity, to me is always a really good thing. I don't have any specific ideas really myself. Now, I have thought about actually coming up with a series to kind of go over and give some kind of halfway crazy ideas for every class, more of just a fun thing rather than actual suggestions. But I haven't really thought about it too much. But one important thing when it comes to giving diversity and giving classes is the balance, and that's what's most important, is keeping everything in balance, in check, that it's not going to screw with the balance of the game in its entirety. So yes, I do like the idea of adding more stuff, adding more diversity, adding more equipment, but it's got to be within reason, and it's got to be balanced. That's the main thing. Coca-Jack, or Cock-A-Jack, I don't even know why I'm trying to pronounce his name, thinks that maxes should cost a combination of infantry and mechanized resources, since they are kind of infantry, kind of machine. He wants to know what I think about that. I think it's kind of a cool idea, honestly. But at the same time, back when I used to play Max, I always thought that Maxes should have cost a lot more resources, should have made it a lot harder to get and harder to use, because you could basically just run a Max out there time after time unless you got killed right away. But they were just so good that it should have cost more resources than that. So I really have no problem costing a lot of just infantry resources. I don't necessarily think it needs to be changed. Since all max changes, I fear maxes a lot more than I used to, especially the Zoe maxes, or whatever the hell you guys call them. The VS maxes that'll glow up and kick the shit out of you. Yes, I do fear them, and I really don't want to see more of them. I don't think it needs to be easier for people to spawn those. I think they're really, really powerful now. So I'm fine with the way it is now. I think it's a good thing they did by adding or making it cost so many more infantry resources. Ned Scene 8, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong as well, wants to know if that final tier of recon detect device is actually worth the 1,000 certs. Well, if you main medic, if that's all you play, it's definitely worth getting at some point. That final tier is going to give you one extra dart. It's going to make your darts last 5 seconds longer, and it's going to give you a little bit bigger radius. But if you play a lot of other classes and there's a lot of other stuff you still haven't purchased, then no, you're going to want to pick up other stuff first. It just comes down to how often you play Infiltrator and how often you play other classes and what you have purchase for those other classes. So that's pretty much the best advice I can give regarding that, and I do get asked that a lot. So Phobos 134 wants to know, am I black? If you were to look at my skin, you would actually consider me the opposite of black. I'm incredibly pale. My body doesn't get much sun. I'm too busy making videos and playing Planetside 2. Obviously this is kind of a silly question. The only reason I really even answered it is because you guys have asked for vlogs from me before. I've got a few suggestions to do vlogs, whatever. I don't really have any good camera to do that. I really don't even have an interest in doing a vlog. I don't know why, but if you guys really want to put a face to the voice, if you guys really want to know what I look like, I can post up some pictures in a video. I really don't have any problem doing it, but you probably won't get a vlog from me for a while, and that's really the only reason I even answered this question. Maybe if I ever start making some money off YouTube or anything like that, I'll buy a camera that I can actually do a vlog with, but for now, don't expect anything from me. Yeah, anyways, moving on. The last question I'm going to answer today is the one that I get asked one of the most frequently. What is better, a Cyclone or a Blitz? I've kind of answered this before in the past, but never really given a definitive answer. I've now since Araxiumed both of them, and I can definitely say without a doubt I prefer the Blitz. It's not necessarily better than a Cyclone, but I prefer the Blitz. The thing with the Cyclone is it's got the smaller mag. You pretty much have to use extended mag on it, and when you do that, you give up the ability to use the advanced laser. That just makes hip firing them a lot harder. And as you guys know, I only pretty much hip fire SMGs. I rarely ever ADS, and not having that advanced laser is kind of a big disadvantage when it comes between the two, or deciding which one to use. That is why I use the Blitz. That is why I prefer the Blitz, and that's why I'm using the Blitz right now as my main SMG, and I'm even using it on my Light Assault currently. So I know I'm going to keep getting asked this question. I know it's going to keep coming up, but I definitely prefer the Blitz over the Cyclone. But anyways, that pretty much wraps up this episode. One other thing that I forgot to mention, I should have done this before the mailbag, is the back talking about my Oblivious People video. Had a lot of people talking about the European servers. So I have made a character on Miller, which I heard is like the premier European server where all the good European players play, and they're better than Americans. Blah blah blah. So I made a character on Miller, and I'm not doing this to try and necessarily, say haha in your face I can kill people on Miller. Nothing like that. But I've had so many people tell me this, I kind of want to just check it out. The problem is my main play time is late at night. In Europe at that time it must be really early in the morning and nobody's on, so I'm not having a lot of time to actually play on there. Also, I'm obviously starting over at Battle Rank 0, so all my stuff really sucks and I don't have many options to really do much with. But I am going to be trying to play on Miller. I do have some footage there already. I'll probably do a killing time with it, and what I actually think, and trust me, I will be honest, if I actually think it's harder to play on Miller or European servers than it is on US servers, I'll definitely agree with you guys if that's what my actual opinion is. I'll be completely honest with you guys about it. But anyways, just wanted to let you guys know that there will be some European server play coming soon, and that's pretty much all I had today. So anyways, guys, leave many comments, let me know what you think. I know I probably pissed some people off with this video, and some people are going to think completely different than me. I would love to hear about it in the comments section. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, I will talk to you guys later.